Okay, so the last thing that we have to do is multiplying two expressions, and then we are fully finished this chapter. Okay, so we've already dealt with multiplying expressions, but now there's two expressions together. So for example, I could be asked something like this: multiply 2x minus 3 by 3x plus 4. Okay, so I have two brackets side by side, girls. Okay, so the first thing I have to do, okay, so I take my first term, okay, and that's 2x, and I multiply that by everything in the second bracket. So I go 3x plus 4. Okay, then I go on and I take my second term, which is minus 3, and I multiply that by everything in the second bracket. So I go 3x plus 4. So you have practice of these type of questions, okay? But we need to be able to split my bracket before I go on, okay? So the first thing I do is I go do my arrows, arrow, 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 okay? Right, what I have now, okay, I go number by number. So 2 by 3 gives me 6, okay? X by x. Remember, we're multiplying letters by each other, okay? So I keep my base, so my base is x. And remember, I have my imaginary powers 1, 1, okay? So I add my powers, 1 plus 1 gives me 2. So 2x times 3x gives me 6x squared. Now I need to multiply my 2x by my 4. So numbers by numbers, 2 by 4 gives me plus 8. And I keep my variable, which is just x. Right, then I come on here, okay? Right, so it's number by number, so minus 9x. Okay, right, then I do minus 3 times plus 4. I might need to put this into my calculator to watch your signs. So I go minus 3 multiplied by 4, and that gives me minus 12. The last thing that I need to do in this example is I need to underline things that go together. So 6x squared, I can't add that to anything else here because that's the only one with an x squared, okay? Then I go along, okay, so my next one, I'm going to circle my x's, okay? Right, they two go together because they're the exact same, and the last thing, I'm just going to put a dot underneath my number, okay? So then I don't even need to write this again because everything is in perfect order. So I just bring down 6x squared. Right, then I might have to put into my calculator, what is 8 take away 9? And I get minus 1. So I get my answer is minus 1x minus 12. And that's it, fully completed. Okay, so I'm going to do another example here. So the next one that I'm going to do is 2a plus b times a minus 3b. Okay, so this is why it was really important that you were doing the homework the other night, okay, to get perfect at these ones, because it's linking it all in now to get it to the last part of this chapter. So I have two brackets like this, okay. The first thing I realised, okay, I don't know what to do with these two brackets because I can't multiply them straight away. I have to split them. So I take my first term, which is 2a, and I multiply it by everything in my second bracket. So it's a minus 3b. I take my second term, which is plus b, and I multiply it by everything in my second bracket, a minus 3b. Okay, now I can go on and do my arrows. Okay, so I do my arrow here, arrow here, arrow here, arrow here. Now, I have to multiply, okay, so in front of this I would have a 1, okay, so 2a times 1a, okay, so numbers by numbers, so I get 2 by 1 gives me 2, a by a, okay, right, so I need to keep my base and add my power, which is going to give me 2, minus, okay, now I need to go number by number, okay, so 2 times minus 3, so some of us might need to put this into their calculators, 2 multiplied by minus 3 gives me minus 6. So I get minus 6, and my letters, I just go A, B. Right, now I have plus B times A. That's going to be plus A, B. You would not be wrong if you said plus B, A, okay? But we usually put our numbers in letters in alphabetical order, okay? And then here I have plus B by minus 3B, okay? So remember there's a 1 in front of this, so number by number. Okay, so I have 1 by minus 3, so I might need to put that into my calculator. So I'll go 1 times minus 3, that gives me minus 3. And then I have b multiplied by b, letter by letter, b squared. Okay, so I keep my base and add my powers. Now I need to underline things, okay, so 2a squared, I have nothing else to add that with, okay. Right, I circle my 6ab and I circle my ab, they go together, and then this, I have nothing to add with either because I can't add that to any of the terms. We can only add like terms. Then what I have to finish off my answer, 2a squared, okay, so it's equal to, right, minus 6 plus, right, that's going to be a 1 in front of it, so I put it into my calculator. Minus 6 plus 1 gives me minus 5. Minus 5ab minus 3b squared. And that's that one completely finished. Right, the next one now that I'm going to get us to do, I'm going to write out an example. Okay, so it's x plus 2 bracket x plus 1. Okay, right, so I have an example here. So I have two brackets being multiplied by one another. Our first step when we see two brackets like this being multiplied by one another is I need to split my bracket. Okay, so I take my first term, which is x, and I multiply it by everything in the second bracket. So I go x plus 1. And then I take my second term, which is plus 2, and I multiply it by everything in my second bracket, 1. So now I need to multiply with my arrows. So I will draw my arrows, x to x, x plus 1, 2 to x, 2 to 1. Now, x multiplied by x gives me x to the power 2 because I keep my base and I add my powers. My base is x, my power is 1 plus 1 gives me 2. Now I need to multiply x by 1. Okay, so here I would have a 1. So numbers by numbers, so plus 1 and keep my letter x, plus here 2 by 1x, so number by number, so that's going to be plus 2 and keep my letter, which is just x. Then I have 2 times 1 gives me plus 2. Right, now I need to underline the things to go together. Okay, so x squared, I can't add that with anything else. I can't add it with my x because it's not the exact same. Okay, I circle my x, I circle my 2, and put a dot here. Now, I go x squared, right, 1x plus 2x gives me plus 3x plus 2, and we're fully finished then.